Hey Audiolab viewers, welcome to our first ever Audiolab Presents Nick and Aaron at Night. You might recognize me from some of the other videos. I'm Nick. We do a lot of stuff online. This is my coworker Aaron.
Good to see you guys.
We're going to be talking about just a couple of different products that are really cool right now that we're excited about. Namely, today we are going to discuss the Arcam SA series, and we're also going to look at the JBL HDI series, which are right
Got
here.
them right here.
So, obviously, all Harman products, very, very cool.
Absolutely.
So what, have you used these things? Have you used the Arcam series?
So a little bit of background. So Nick's the sales guy here. I'm actually the used equipment guy. I'll do a lot of the returns. I'll get a lot of stuff that comes into the company. So I do get to play around with a lot of stuff. I have not, in the slightest, even touched this unit yet. This is actually the first time I may have actually seen it up close until right now. But cool. Still do have a little bit of familiarity with Arcam products. I mean, it looks like, pretty standard build, exactly what we're, used to with an Arcam piece. Plenty of inputs on the back. I mean, obviously, nice slender form factor that you're looking at as well too. So if you don't have a lot of space in your audio rack, I think this is going to fit in nicely with that.
Definitely very, very appealing. I like the look of it too. They have this gunmetal gray thing going on, which is cool. I do have a lot of experience actually with these products. I've sold a number of them. I've listened to them pretty extensively. I do really like the SA20. We actually were just doing a video on it yesterday, and we're doing a little presentation video. We wanted to talk about it today actually because all this stuff is on sale.
Yes.
Which is obviously really, really cool. There's a pretty big sale going on. It's 30% or something like that.
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, I mean, now is actually the perfect time. A lot of people, they're away from their homes in the summer. They're doing a lot of traveling, going on vacation. But this is probably one of the best times right now if you're looking to actually either upgrade or jump into the world of vinyl and 2-channel listening. This is a great, honest, perfect starter piece you could incorporate in your setup.
And I am looking at the price. I am on audiolab.com. If you want some information, check out our website. We have all these specs and stuff that we're going to be talking about. So I am seeing it's normally a $16.50 is MSRP, and it's actually being sold for $12.49 right now. It's a really good deal. I will say that I sell it all the time at $16.50. It's a great, great product for that money. At $12.50, it's steel.
Definitely.
That's a really good price. I know, the phono section is very good, so if you do any kind of vinyl listening, that's one place where it's really useful. Mm-hmm. I think it has a great DAC on board. What do we have?
And we can also, too, we're going to probably overlay some images of the back of the unit as well, too. I know
we can turn this around as well, right?
We can, we can do that.
For you. It's kind of
might make it easier, too, to talk about it. Right. Yeah, once we start getting more cameras here, it'll... Trust us, we'll be flooding you with lots of B-roll segments here.
So in the back we do have, it looks like 5 analog inputs. We've got a few digital inputs, 2 SPDIF, 1 optical. So the DAC is a good DAC. It's the ESS 9038 DAC, which I've used in a couple of my systems, and it's a nice clear DAC.
Right. It does have, so it has an Ethernet on the back of the unit, it looks like. Is that a network?
So there's no networking in this particular one. So.
Oh, see that was what?
Networking, yep. I don't know offhand what that's going to do, but I do know that the SA30 is your full-on network streamer. So if we talk about going upwards and downwards, so the SA30 is actually, I really love the SA20 because it was where it's priced and what it does. But if you want something that's more of a flagship product, the SA30 is their highest end model in the SA line. Looks just like this. Maybe we could overlay something right now to show you kind of the difference in size, but it's a little bit bigger. The pricing, it is also on sale. Everything on these Arcam units is on sale right now, which is why we, again, want to talk about it. Normally $3,300 for the SA30. Right now it's $2,699, $600 savings.
Crazy.
So the SA30, what's really cool, and this is, again, which is one of my favorite products out there, that, again, uses the 9038 chip. They do give you, I believe, a couple more inputs and options, but what's really cool about the SA30, first of all, they give you a much more powerful amplifier. So this is 80 watts, which very juicy. People love to under assume on the 80 watts, but this will run almost any speaker.
Right.
And then the next level up at 120, it really will do almost anything. There's the Class G technology, which I did talk about in the video a little bit. I don't know if you guys are so familiar with the Class G technology. To give you all a little bit of a background, very basically, the Class G technology, it starts at Class A, so for your lower power settings, it's going to be your Class A non-switching amplifier, and then once it goes above a certain power, which I know on the SA20 is 12 watts of Class A, I don't know what it is on the 120. Once it goes above that level, you will get the Class AB settings kicking in, so it'll give you the higher signal levels for the extra oomph when you need them for bass passages and whatnot. So the Class G technology is really, really good sounding. It's actually pretty amazing technology.
And I think that was a good point too, to jump back real quick what he said. A lot of people, I think, are sometimes under this stigma too of more power. More power is always needed in that sense, but I think a lot of times what people disregard too is they look at a number on the screen, they say 80 watts per channel for this, and they just think that it won't have enough juice to really do anything. Maybe you've got a pair of beefier speakers. Well, first of all, I think it does actually have pre-outs on the back anyway.
Sure.
So you could effectively, if you do have a pretty beefy amplifier anyway, connect that to it, bi-amp it, you're good to go. But 80 watts of good power on this is actually, I think, more than adequate to drive a huge chunk of the market.
It's
out
a
there.
lot of power.
Definitely.
And I think in the future we'll actually have some podcasts that we will directly talk about power ratings, wattage, because that is one of my things that I'm just crazy about. People will say wattage, how much is the power? And you got to look at the other things such as the currents, like this one, for example, which does draw 500 watts from the walls.
Right.
Pretty substantial. 500 watts, if you look at the math, as compared to 80 watts, obviously there's a lot of current reserves in this thing.
The Focal name piece that we have, what is that, like 40 watts a channel? We drove the bigger Aria towers on one of those things, and it was just like, you can't go wrong with that. So obviously it is something to be maybe a little aware of sometimes when you are purchasing your gear, to always sort of know what the numbers mean, but at the same time though, a number can sometimes also just mean a number as well.
It can be a little disorienting. And for me, I will say I love loud listening. I am a loud listener. And I do use powerful amps. I use usually in the hundreds.
Yes.
That being said, the 80 watts in this piece specifically, it goes really far. You can get this thing really, really loud.
Yep.
I would say the SA10, the level down, the 60 watts, that's not the most powerful thing in the world.
Right.
You could definitely run a pair of decent floor standards, but for the higher level.
Right. SA10 too is also trying to, obviously that's the good thing too about these RCAM units, is they're priced in a good enough space, it seems like, where it's kind of like one is a stepping stone to another. So they can kind of, if you're looking to sort of jump in with maybe the RCAM brand, you really like maybe the sound of it, you've demoed or auditioned a lot of their equipment, you can kind of step in at different price points to whatever caters to your budget at any given time.
And the SA10, while we're on the topic, normal price $880, reduced to $699. So this is another really cool piece. I will say that the 10 is sort of their entry level, and it should be, you should be aware of it. The power, it's actually 50 watts, both channels, so it's not extremely powerful, and they're using the lower end DAC in it as well, so they're using the ESS 9016 DAC.
Right.
So obviously the SA20, the SA30, a lot more premium. And one thing I actually meant to talk about on the SA30 is Dirac, which Dirac enabled, not only Dirac, which I love, Wi-Fi too. So you have Wi-Fi and Dirac on the SA30, which if you guys don't know about all that, it's a very big deal. Wi-Fi streaming direct into the unit. When we talk about signal purity, we talk about ease of use. Obviously, it's a great thing to have. And then Dirac, which I am a Dirac user.
It's going to be the future at this point. You're going to see way more people adopting that.
That's right. Yeah, we're seeing a lot of different companies buying the Dirac software, putting it in their products, putting it out. Harman is one of these guys, one of these companies that is using it, and it's a great thing. It could totally, if you don't know what Dirac is, it will take sweeps of your room, it will listen to your speaker setup, and it will correct the imbalances, the issues, so it can do things that you would not believe. It's way beyond standard room correction software. Like I use a Denon in my home theater system, which is great, it works great, but if you're familiar with like Odyssey or something more standard like that, it takes that idea and just steps it to the total next level.
Right.
And the noise, the sound correction is so much better.
Odyssey is their room if anybody out there does not own Denon or Marantz, Odyssey is their room correction software that comes within the box.
Which is great too. It's awesome. It's awesome.
I mean, I haven't actually messed around. They do, I think, have a premium app that allows you to get more in depth with it. But yeah, in terms of Odyssey, it's a pretty good standard, right out of the box way to just set things up, and you're good to go within probably 15 minutes.
Right.
So.
And then when we talk about Dirac, well, of course, that builds on top of that, and really Dirac. I mean, they're a company that is room correction focused, and that's what I really like about it. That's what they do, and they sell that software to other companies. So you don't have Arcam producing this room correction software. You get Dirac doing it, which is great.
Exactly. Yep.
So I like that. So SA30, built-in Wi-Fi. You can control it with your devices. You have Chromecast. Very cool stuff. Obviously, the 30 uses the higher power Class G amplifier. The SA10 is using a standard AB amplifier. That's worth mentioning. So you're going to get the Arcam sounds, but not the Class G sound, which I actually think defines the Arcam sound. It's really impressive. So I think that covers a lot of the SA series.
I think so too. I mean, again, when you're doing like a side-by-side comparison, we'll show you a lot of the backs of all three different models too. I mean, the core outer, I guess you could say, in terms of like looks, I mean, they all kind of carry a lot of the same inputs, a lot of the same bells and whistles, but I mean, there is obviously, with each step you're going in this whole chain of their product line, you are getting obviously better build, better quality, and obviously just that more premium sound that I think you're used to getting from Arcam as well too.
And I will say, just to build off what you just said, as far as the looks, all three of them line up really well as far as looks. Like they're really similar. You would never look at the outer box and say, wow, this one's $4,000, this one's $500. It's,
right.
They're very sleek.
Yep.
So this is cool. You can find this on our website. You can get a lot of information on all these series. They're on sale right now. So like Aaron said, it's a really great time to buy if you've been thinking about it.
Right. Because after the summer's over, I mean, you don't want to miss out on this, especially if you've already been considering Arcam anyway, or just a really nice 2-channel amplifier, or integrated. Or, like I said, you could use it as a pre-pro as well, too.
So, if you want to check this out, audiolab.com is the website. I do have a direct extension. If you're looking to buy one of these, if you have any questions, you can always talk to me. We are totally hands-on here. So, if you need to talk to anyone at the company, we're real people. We have the time for you. We love our customers. My extension here, we're going to put it in the video, but it's 215-283-4652. Call us anytime while we're here. We're happy to take questions. And if you guys have anything more that we haven't discussed about that you're wondering about, we have a lot of hands-on experience here with this stuff, and a lot of comparisons. So feel free to use this as a resource.
Yep. Give us a call, leave us a comment, send us a message. We'll have all the social media handles at the bottom here, so you can click it, check it out if you haven't already done so. And yeah, we're always here for you. Just more than welcome to help you out with any questions or concerns you got for making your next purchase.
Contact us here. Contact us on the video, and we're happy to answer more of these questions.
Absolutely.
We're going to be doing a lot of these podcasts as it comes.
Yep.
So I think we should move into the second segment of the video now, which is going to be closely related.
These bad boys right here.
So, these are really cool speakers.
They are very, very nice looking speakers.
We couldn't kind of get them framed as well as we wanted to, but these are the 3600, the JBL HDI 3600. We do have the bookshelves here, the HDI 1600s.
Just spin this around too so they can see the backside of the speaker as well.
These are gorgeous. I love this finish myself.
Yes.
The brown, it's really good looking. It's really, I think it's real wood too, actually.
I mean, I would say so. It's pretty solid.
Yeah, they're well built. They're well built. These are really cool. These can fit in a much more, I guess, laid back, grayish sort of environment. These are personally, I really love the sound of these. The 3600s, they're very cool. I guess we should just to talk about the sound a little bit.
We did, yeah. So we first auditioned these. We were actually, for just the size of this speaker alone, like we were blown away of the actual sound and soundstage that was coming out of just 2 speakers with the subs off. And then obviously when we cranked these bad boys up, I mean it was like a whole nother level. But it was still, you still felt like you were still getting, and that's where maybe we can kind of go in and talk about it more. And I feel like you're a little bit better at describing this too. But like it was more of the same. But the actual soundstage when we were listening was just more grander and more just sort of orchestral. I don't know how to say it.
Yeah. You know? So when we auditioned these, it wasn't in this room. We actually auditioned in the room over, which is a bigger, more open room. Not a lot of sound control. So pretty unforgiving. These ones, kind of like Aaron said, really good imaging, really spot on. They're very tight. They're very monitor-esque to my ears. They're very expressive. The horns, which we're going to dive into extensively, are very, very expressive. They have a very expressive sound. But again, this one, and there is the 3800, which we actually don't have in the shop, but these really have me impressed. I would own these in a heartbeat. When we plug these in, I just the expansiveness of sound that changed from the small. I mean, we weren't expecting it to get as big as it did, and the imaging was really huge. Things I love on these are going to be anything vocal oriented. We were really impressed with anything like that, jazz, anything mid-centric. I forget what we really liked.
And that's another thing too that can really only sometimes come with. Horn-loaded tweeters, we understand, are for everybody, but they really do, when it comes to listening to certain genres of music, they can be some of the most telling and revealing speakers for, depending on your recordings. But yeah, I mean, everything we were even throwing at these, they were just a really, really fun speaker to listen to.
Yeah, all around.
Like, it was just, like, I could totally see this kind of being a little bit of a party speaker, like if you have people over and you've got some tunes and you want to crank it up and give them some juice, like... These things will easily entertain for that, but if you want to calm down and recline back in your chair after a long day of work and pour yourself a drink and put on Norah Jones, I mean, you're going to get this very, very luscious, almost live representation that she's just right there performing a show for you.
Very lively. And
fantastic.
You know what else is great though too is that the home theater setup actually that we don't even. I mean,
Aaron we didn't even touch on the home theater side of things.
It's we're saying we're really stereo nut jobs and we love our stereo, but of course, I mean, I have a great home theater in my basement.
Yeah, we love it. We love home theater.
We're serious about that too. So these series actually, the center channel is really cool if you check it out. It has the 4 woofers. It's the wide variety that's becoming very popular, so great center channel. You could build a whole system like this with all JBL synthesis.
It's honestly, it's probably, I mean, obviously I don't have the size, length, and dimensions and stuff, but essentially think of the center channel as if you just took this tower and turned it on its side. I mean, you definitely need the space for it. But again, if you have these as your left and rights with that center channel, I mean, you're going to get a perfect timbre match right across your front stage.
And people love to bypass the center channel as being important. In the past, we've seen a lot of systems designed with smaller center channels. Because guess what? Not everyone wants a giant speaker right in the middle. We get that.
We get it.
We get that. But you have to remember that 85 to 90% of the information in the movie is coming from the center channel. I put a lot of emphasis on my center channel in my personal setups. I actually run dedicated subwoofers for my center channels, but that's...
He's doing like next level stuff.
It's a little next level. And you can get a lot of that same effect with a larger center channel. It'll give you that same bass extension.
And we totally get to, obviously, it's due to size constraints. If this is in your front living room, you may actually want, in a home theater setup, a more smaller, modest center channel that actually leaves you table space to put other stuff. But if you're using a dedicated home theater room, maybe you have a basement or a man cave, it's your primary zone that's just dedicated to watching TV shows and movies, it would be a very worthwhile investment to not skip out on your center channel because it is so important, like Nick was saying.
Yeah, so important. I can't really emphasize that enough. So one of the things that I did want to talk about on this speaker is going to be the design of the components. I really want to spend a little time talking about this tweeter, but just a quick little overview for those of you who are not familiar. We are looking at a 2.5 way design. Of course, the bookshelf is a 2-way design. 2.5 way meaning that you're getting the mid-range out of here as well as the bass, whereas the bottom ones only handle the bass, of course. But again, a lot of the magic is happening in this JBL horn. So, if you're not familiar with JBL history, which I don't know how you wouldn't be, so prolific, but
they've been around for a while.
The horn loading, and one of my favorite companies. I'm going to add that. JBL really helped me personally enter into this industry, and the sound of the JBLs. If you're familiar like the old L100s and everything, a lot of that sound is still here. Yep. We actually deal with the recreated L100 Classics, which are another part of the synthesis line, and they sound amazing.
And obviously, they really didn't alter the look too much as well. So I mean, it really does have that straight vintage look of, you know, if your parents or your grandparents had a pair of those growing up, I mean, they're gonna feel right at home if they needed to upgrade and get a new pair of these.
Yeah, they're great.
Sure.
We'll probably do a video in the future on actually the classics, but they are
very cool.
Very cool. Yeah, very cool. Very impressive.
Even when we had them out in the front showroom there, that was like the first thing that would always catch customers' eyes whenever they'd walk into the store, and it would be kind of a good conversation starter too. They'd be like, "Whoa!"
Yeah. Always, people are always saying, "Whoa, that's so cool." So anyway, back to these speakers a little bit. So back to the horn. So the horn design in this is really, really specific. I'm not sure if maybe we can get an overlay of some kind of image showing the up close, but the way that they have this horn shape, they spent so much time designing this horn shape to get the dispersion correct, to get the frequencies correct, and they did a great job. It's very not honky. Which is really impressive. I'm traditionally not a horn person, actually. I don't really like horns because they can be very honky.
Could be a little selective with our horn speaker choosings.
These are amazing. It does have a compression driver, so it's not like a standard. It's not a standard tweeter. It's a totally different design. So it's a very forward sound, and again, the detailing is really amazing. They go to a very low frequency, if I'm not mistaken, too. I believe the crossover is pretty low. And a low crossover will really help you get a lot of the expression through the mid-range.
Right.
Let's see what else. Advanced aluminum matrix cone woofers. I'm looking at a breakdown here. It's pretty beefy woofers inside. They do come in gloss black as well. Seeing that online, the gloss black is very good looking.
Which, if you're using these in maybe a dedicated home theater room too, and you're obviously watching the movies with the lights out, the black won't be too distracting.
Yeah, I like the gloss black.
Yes. Yep.
The website is actually notating the dual ports, which is a pretty interesting feature. I'm not sure if we can actually see all the way down there. I'm trying to.
And if not, we'll throw a picture in there too, so you can see exactly what we're looking at.
So you can see down on the bottom, we do have two long ports. They of course are computer optimized, and the tuning of them is very impressive. So these actually handle a ton of bass. All the way at the bottom, which I'm sure you guys can't see from here, we do have dual binding posts. You can bi-amp. Which we're going to actually do a whole segment on bi-amping because that's another thing
that literally changed my audio listening for the better thanks to this guy right here.
Oh yeah. Bi-amping, tri-amping.
Told him the other day, I'm two out of the 3 main audio listening setups that I have in my house are now bi-amped. All thanks to him just telling me I needed to do it, and I was like, I'll give it a shot, and it was a game changer. So especially if you're not even utilizing a lot of the, maybe you only have, a front, your left, right, center, you're only using 3 channels on your receiver and a subwoofer for right now, and you're not really utilizing the heights or the surrounds, you can oftentimes even just bi-amp through using unused speaker posts in your amplifier.
Internal by amplification.
Exactly.
It's not something to skip over. It actually does draw more power. It uses more amplifiers inside your amplifier itself. So there's a lot of good features you can do there.
Yep.
And again, we're going to do a whole segment
on
all that.
We could talk a while about that.
Oh, yeah.
For sure.
So we'll do that in the future. You can definitely look out for some of those. Again, same as the Arcam. If you guys have questions on these speakers, we are here for you. We've done extensive listening over here, comparing them to plenty of other speakers. Well, let's talk about the price real fast too, because again, they are on sale as well.
Yeah, again, I mean, this is going to be a hot time for all you JBL lovers out there. Maybe you've been eyeing these anyway. This is the best time to pick them up.
The sale is unbelievable on these. Yeah. I mean, the Arcam is amazing, but these are unbelievable. So let me give you some.
It was so good, we were contemplating even buying a pair for ourselves.
I have so many speakers, and I was this close to walking away.
Yeah, I know. Do we really need another pair of speakers? Maybe after we heard these,
So we do have 6 products that are on sale right now. Starting off with the JBL HDI 1600, normally $990 a piece, or just under $2,000 for a pair. Right now, $693 a piece. So that's a huge discount.
Crazy.
The accompanying stands are for sale. Normally $440 a pair, now $308 a pair. Very nice stands. Let's see. This is the 3600. This is normally $20.90 each. $4,180 for a pair. Right now, these are $1,463 each. It drops them to a really affordable level. I mean, obviously, we know that multi-$1,000 speakers are not affordable.
Right.
But compared to what they can do, the quality's phenomenal.
And the MSRP of the original value of the speaker, obviously, alone it's a pretty hefty price cut for sure.
Yeah.
And even if you're somebody that doesn't think they can do home theater right now, best part about it is you can sort of add to it later. Grab yourself a pair of these while it's still cheap, and at least you're if you have a really lackluster stereo set up at your house for music listening, it won't be lacking anymore after you grab a pair of these. That's for sure.
Right. So the bigger brothers, we are looking at $2,750 each, $5,500 for a pair. They are now down to $1,925 each. You can find that on the website. Another cool thing is the center channel's on sale, normally $19.25, now $13.47. And actually, even their matching subwoofer is on sale. And this is a pretty big sale. It's about $1,000 off. It's normally $3,300. It's down to $2,310. It's about $1,000 on the subwoofer.
Yeah.
It's substantial.
Which I've not heard the subwoofer, but the bass performance on all of these speakers too has been really good. And if the subwoofer encompasses anything like that, you're in for a great time.
It's a very well-designed sub. It's a very, very well thought out product, and obviously JBL knows how to do bass. So pricing on these is great. That's something talking to us over here.
Yeah, I guess we'll cut that out. You know what? We'll leave it in, actually.
So
it was the audio. It was the room telling us we needed to wrap up, I guess, with the whole talk there.
So I think jokes aside, I think it is time to wrap up on the HDIs. I think we covered a lot of that. Again, same as what I said with the Arcam.
Yep.
We're here for you to answer your questions. Audiolab.com. Throw up some links. You can find all that stuff. Follow us on social media. We have a lot of stuff that we put out. We're doing videos every week, all the time. We want to get content out to you guys. We want to hear from you guys. Make sure that you comment. Tell us what you want to hear. Tell us what you want to see. Tell us what you want us to talk about. Okay? If you have any specific questions, again, you can call us. You can call me. You can call anyone at the company. We're here for you to take care of your questions.
And if you're looking for a new pair of speakers or amplifier, why not go with Arcam and JBL?
Yeah.
Both on sale. Really good pairing too.
And of course,
just throwing that out there.
And that's obviously why we're actually talking about it today, is because they're such a sensible pairing. Because of the fact that it is all Harman related, they pair up really, really well. So it's a great system if you're looking to do something.
We may have addressed it, but I couldn't remember if we did, so I wanted to make sure I threw that in at the end.
Yeah.
But absolutely perfect, very, very well matched for each other. Definitely.
Definitely. Great pairing. So we're going to move into the final segment, I think, for now, which is going to be our announcements.
Okay.
So the main announcement that we want to talk about is actually going to be our new location.
Yep.
We have big changes coming at Audio Lab. We have been here at 492 Lincoln Highway for many years. We've got a great showroom, great setup here. But
it was, but a lot of good memories, that's for sure.
Absolutely. And but we're in the process of, we have already acquired the new building.
Yep.
We are retrofitting it. We're building unbelievable, beautiful showrooms. It is still right here in Fairless Hills, so it's not far.
Right down the road, actually, from the location that we're in right now.
If you're already familiar with it, it's 3 minutes away.
Yep.
So it's right here. But the building is fantastic. It's going to be huge. We're definitely going to be dropping some more photos and information coming soon. But for now, it's in the works. And obviously, you know, we are going to be a little bit better set up, hopefully, over there.
Right, right. This will not be our permanent setup. We'd like to eventually have a dedicated space where you'll, you know, recognize the show right away. It'll be our showroom where we're actually doing this.
Exactly.
But we figured this was a really great setup for us too, to just kind of showcase a lot of the speakers and vinyl collection too in the background.
Right. Right. Yeah. And for those of you that aren't familiar with the shop, this is what we call the throwback room, where we are in right now.
Yes.
Has some of our highest end stuff in here, some of the records on the wall, and of course some of our
great selection.
And some of our very nice gear behind us as well. So we've got the new location coming.
Yes. Yep.
We have new products coming in as well. We're going to have a lot of things to announce. I know we just picked up dual turntables, which we were very excited about.
If you go to our website, if you've been somebody that does occasionally check out our site from time to time, you will notice, especially as the months have been going on too, that you've seen new ads and new banners for brands that we sort of acquired and brought in. One of the bigger ones too is, of course, Audio Lab.
That's right, Audio Lab.
Audio Lab being one of the newer recent acquisitions that we've brought to our website as well.
Not to be confused with our brand, Audio Lab, because we get that question all the time.
We did want to just clear the air and just make sure we did address that, so that way people don't call us thinking that we're actually the ones making the amplifiers.
We don't build the amplifiers.
No, we don't do that.
We sell them.
The name of our showroom and our shop here is Audio Lab, and it's cool now to be selling gear that also shares the same name with us.
It does, yeah. And we're really excited about the Audio Lab brand and bringing them in, what they can offer. They're really new to us. We've spent almost no time so far, but in the coming weeks we're going to get some hands-on exposure. We are going to be doing some videos on the Audio Lab brand products, doing some unboxing and whatnot. Which, if you're interested in seeing any of that stuff, you can find all of that again on our Facebook, on our YouTube. We've got those videos. If you want to see us unbox new products, it's out there.
We'll try to keep populating it with stuff as the weeks go on too, and especially as things get closer and closer to the move from this location to the new location, you're probably going to see a lot of maybe behind the scenes stuff and new updates as well of how the showroom's coming along and stuff as well.
Exactly. A lot of stuff coming up. So, I think that takes care of most of the announcements for this week. So I think we're gonna.
I think so too.
I think we can close up the show that way.
We didn't even really have a time limit, but pretty much the half hour. So I mean, I think honestly for our first episode here, we covered a lot, looking forward to continuing this. And like I said, obviously shoot us some requests, anything like that.
Please, we'll listen.
We'll be in touch with you.
If you tell us something, we really will do a video on it. We are totally happy to do so. We're going to have some listening tests coming up. We're going to have all kinds of cool content coming out. So make sure you stay tuned. Follow us, like us, do all that good stuff that I know we're supposed to plug.
Yes. And definitely come in. You're more than welcome. If you're local, please. Come in. We got RCAM and JBL here. Sit right down. We got plenty of seating.
We're in the middle of a heat wave. It's nice and cool. We have air conditioning in here.
The air conditioning feels great in here.
Yeah,
absolutely. Come in here, chat with us for a little bit, listen to some tunes, and you might end up actually walking out with some cool upgrades.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, listening is always free. So, I think we're going to end it at that. And thank you for tuning into the Audio Lab channel. And we will see you guys next time.
Until next time. Cheers, guys.